Hello viewers, imagine you are sitting in the plane and your flight going to your destination and suddenly you know that this plane was hijacked. How do you feel? You cannot know how to react and deal with this situation. You think about your family, kids or your loved one. Viewers, I am talking about the most tragic and sensitive 9/11 terrorist attack in US. Let's investigate the most famous and awful terrorist attack and try to explore the complete story of the 9/11 hijack attacks. Our story begins on 26 February 1993 when a Ramzi Youssef, a young extremist who had trained in one of the Bin Laden campuses, led the first major Middle Eastern terrorist attack on American soil by planting a truck bomb beneath the World Trade Center. Most people know that 9/11 was the first attack, but the first major attack was planting a truck bomb beneath the World Trade Center on the February 26, 1993. The plan to topple the both towers failed, but 6 people were killed and more than 1,000 were injured. After waiting 8 years, they make a big and awful plan. September 11, 2001, 5:45 a.m., Mohammed Atta and Abdul Aziz Al-Umari, two of the ended hijackers, pass through the security of the Pauline International Jetport in Miami. There are 76 passengers, 11 crew members, and 5 hijackers on board. On other side, second flight 8 a.m. United Airlines flight 175 takes from Boston also headed for the Los Angeles. There are 51 passengers, 9 crew members and 5 hijackers on board. They board a commuter flight to Boston Logan International Airport and they then board American Airlines Flight 11. 7:59 a.m. Flight 11 takes off from Boston headed for the Los Angeles, California. 8:19 a.m. a flight attendant on Flight 11, Betty A. Anong, alerts ground personnel that the hijacking underway and their cockpit is unreachable. Third flight, 8:20 a.m. American Airlines Flight 77 takes from the Dulles outside of Washington, D.C. Headed for Los Angeles, there are 53 passengers, 6 crew members, and 5 hijackers on board. 8:24 a.m. Mohammed Atta, a hijacker on Flight 11, unintentionally alerts the air controller in Boston to the attack. He meant to press the button that allowed him to talk to the passenger on flight. After hearing the broadcast from Atta on Flight 11, Boston Air Traffic Control alerts the U.S. Air Force Northeast Defense Sector, who demobilized the Air National Guard to follow the plane. Fourth flight 8:42 a.m. United Flight 93 takes off from Newark, New Jersey. After delay to the routine traffic, it was headed for San Francisco, California. There are 33 passengers, 7 crew members, and 4 hijackers on board. 4 commercial planes were hijacked in the USA same day and same time. The passengers understood that the Flight 11 would land in the city. They know that this is their last day of their life. They're starting to calling their relatives, families, and their loved ones to say goodbye.
Baby, you have to listen to me carefully. I'm on a plane that's been hijacked. I'm on the plane.
8:46 a.m. Flight 11 crashes into the World Trade Center North Tower. All passengers aboard are instantly killed and employees of the World Trade Center are trapped above the 91st floor. 70 minutes later, 9:03 a.m., second flight 175 crashed into the World Trade Center South Tower. All passengers aboard are killed instantly and are unknown number of people in the tower. These two attacks made the USA completely agitated. The government did not understand how to deal with the awful situation. They didn't know this is not the end. At 9:05 a.m., President George Bush in the elementary school classroom in Florida. He's informed about the hit on the second tower. His chief of staff, Andre Card, whispered the killing news into President's ear. Bush later wrote about his response. I made the decision not to jump up immediately on the leave the classroom. I didn't want to rate the kids. I want to project a sense of the calm and had been enough crisis to know that first thing the leader has to do is to project calm. 9:28 a.m. hijackers attack on Flight 93. 9:37 a.m. Flight 77 crash into the Pentagon. All passengers board are instantly killed and there are 125 civilian and military personnel in the building. 9:45 a.m. U.S. airspace hit shut down under the Operation Yellow Ribbon. All civilian aircraft are ordered to land off the nearest airport. Air Force is one of the with George Bush aboard takes from the Florida. The lone pilot among the hijackers, Ziad Jarrah, executed a U-turn and 9:55 dialed navigational code for Reagan National Airport into the Bain's 757 flight computer. Jarrah of course had no intention to landing the DCA, and the heroic revolt of passengers that began 2 minutes later amid their general crash on fleet near Shanwela. Passed less than 25 minutes flying the time from their national capital. Passengers aboard Flight 93 begin to run up toward cockpit. Tara, the pilot, begins to roll the plane back and forth in an attempt to destabilize the revolt. On the other side, at 9:59 a.m., the south tower of the World Trade Center collapses. Flight 93 pulled onto the empty field in Shanwilla, Pennsylvania. Although its ultimate target is unknown, it was likely heading either the White House or US Capitol. President Bush authorized any non-grounded plane to be shut down. All the time, all hijackers' plans had already crashed, but the president team was operating under the impression that Flight 93 was still in the air. 10:20 a.m., the North Tower of the World Trade Center collapses. 2,750 people were killed in New York, 184 in Pentagon, and 40 in Pennsylvania. Where one of the hijacked planes crashed into the ground after the passenger attempting to retake the plane. All 19 terrorists died. Police and fire department in New York were especially hurried, and hundreds rushed into the scene of the attacks, and more than 400 police officers and firefighters were killed. Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld ordered the U.S. military to move the higher state of the alert going to the Conf-3. Air Force One lands at Barksdale Air Force Base near the Shreveport, Louisiana airspace in the United States is completely free of all commercial and private flights. Some questions make the attack questionable. Why did the terrorists choose the tower of the World Trade Center? What reason behind the attack? After the attack, what did steps US government took? We will discuss the all important question and try to find the original picture of the causes of the attacks. That's all for today. See you in the next part of the 9/11 attacks in USA.